This is the first of 3 travel notebooks of my trip to Europe this summer with the Dallas Symphony Choir, and my husband is a tenor in it, and we flew from Dallas to Frankfurt. There's our passes here, and then we had a nice dinner together at a place where the Berlin Wall used to be. So we pull that out. They've built a structure there. And we made new friends. And when we landed in Frankfurt, of course, we had to have the world's biggest pretzel. This is the Dallas Symphony Choir tour at a glance. We had ventured around Berlin and went to the Jewish memorial, and inside of that you can feel a bit of a sense of like a soul suffocation, so to speak. Didn't realize that that would have happened in my experience as I explored those monuments. And then it's really close to the Berlin Wall. And, well, I'm sorry, the Berlin Wall was close to the gate, Brandenburg Gate. There's another couple of structures as we walk around. We explored a lot of Berlin. These are our tickets to the top of the Berlin Cathedral Dome. And of course I walked up all 260 steps. Next to the Berlin Wall, of course, is the American Embassy. And this is my Berlin Wall coming down, so to speak, and blooming into new culture, new ideas. We did go to the Reichstag, which is the Capitol building of Berlin, of Germany. And this was our permission to entry. And it's a glass dome, and you're able to look down into the Senate chamber, and it's the idea that people are over government rather than the government being over people. I did note that Charity Hospital was able to be seen off in the distance, and that's where that hospital has been in play ever since the plague. Very amazing work is done there, and they invented nursing practically in the 1800s in cooperation with the Kaiserswerth nurses. This is my handout for the Berlin Cathedral. We kind of went to the top. That's the stairway in it. And I've got a few other pictures of the top. Some folks, I have some pullouts here of folks who wrote their story for me and other adventures of our walk. It was a nice dinner we had. Stephen had this fried herring that was actually pretty good. I would never have been brave enough to eat such a thing, but he did. So we did go out to Potsdam and explore the history of the Prussian Empire and the emperor's house called Sanssouci. And this is one of the ballrooms. And then a friend of mine We went and made a mad dash for the Charlottenburg Palace while the choir practiced. That's the ballroom in Charlottenburg. And this was our adventure. Me and Ashley. We barely made it. The next day, Stephen went to see Nefertiti on Museum Island, and he saw other artifacts of history. The emperor felt that, or the king, he felt that you had to cross a bridge into knowledge, and that's why he built a island that you had to cross over on a bridge to get to explore. This is the Berlin Philharmonie, where Stephen sang with the Berlin Orchestra and the choir sang. And this is my favorite page where it gives a standing ovation. Let's see here. Actually, the choir went to Leipzig. Turn the book here so you can see this. This is my husband singing in Bach's church called Thomaskirche. And we found a sports car nearby. You could pose. It was when 3 gentlemen from the choir posing next to the sign. And this opens up to the advertisement. I had various members of the choir sign the book. There's Bach's tomb. Perfect. Our friend Narka singing her solo. And this is the site of the church that prayed in the spot where communism fell. Porsche restored the organ in that church, and they did the Porsche organ pit for the organist. Isn't that awesome? Here's the structure and the ceiling of the church on the inside. And we stopped and prayed there for continued global freedom. And then another little pocket. And then Bach's church. And then this opens up. And then there was this restaurant called Lev and Wagner, where we sat and took coffee all day. And had sauerbraten with some friends from the choir. There was our dessert flight. It's like a roast that's in gravy. It's just wonderful. I saw the sign for sauerbraten at the bus, when the bus pulled up, and I was like, that's where I'm going to lunch. And it became like our base. And that's it.